This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world. As Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Welcome, America. That's right. This is the Invent America show, part of the Home Talk USA radio family. We like to do this hour. It's the second hour of our broadcast where we help inventors out and you that maybe have an idea for a product. You might not know the steps to take in getting your product to market. I mean, how do you patent it? How do you do get the mold made, or do the testing, or the find out if there's another patent or another technology that you're trying to do? A whole bunch of information here. What about insurance? What about licensing fees? Whole bunch of things you need to know. Well, my co-host, the Inventor lady herself, she can answer all these questions. She is my sidekick. And I'd like to welcome to the show Rita. How you doing, my darling?
I am doing well. And it is so nice to be able to reach out and touch so many of the American inventors out there, because, you know what? Invent America is because America invents, right?
That's right. And you heard our monologue. So
I did.
I read a lot going on in our industry right now, and let's be honest. We just got back off the trade show. We had a chance to meet a lot of new inventors. You had your own booth there at the show where you had, I think, 25 inventors that were there. But there's a lot going on in our industry. Inflation now is taking over all of us. Product availability. It's getting very, the supply chains are getting very short now. So there's a lot going on, and we just don't want our young inventors, to be, spending money and wasting money. So we got the blueprint to help them. And
we do.
And that, so if you listen to the show, it's free. We don't charge anybody, so you can actually get this advice. But we do have a great hour for you. We got some really good inventors coming on. So tell us a little bit about our show.
Well, the show today, we're going to kind of expand on the topic we had a couple of weeks ago, where we talked about that barrier to entry, and for one of the gentlemen, it was product liability insurance. I thought, let's talk a little bit more in depth about that. And for the inventors out there, or the people who think they might be inventors, I want to invite them to join us at the Inventors Roundtable, and you can find the link on my website. The meetings are free, but that's where then you get to ask questions. And a lot of times we'll have then, our expert on, at the meeting, so that, you can ask them your questions. And so making these resources available to all of the inventors across the country is what's so valuable, and what is our goal felt all the way down to our toes is to get that information out there for the inventors. And so on the show today, we've got two inventors. One is a seasoned inventor. He's been inventing for years. The other one's fairly new, and both of them have had to deal with product liability issues. And then our expert is Murray DeLine. He is out of the Colorado area, but his specialty is product liability insurance. And, he taught me a couple of things when I was asking him if he'd do the show, and he goes, some of it is the terminology you're using is not correct. It's, between someone saying, I want to license it and I want to find a manufacturer, could be the same company doing two very different things. So Murray's going to help educate us then as far as the right words to use with and the right place to go for product liability. It's not like you can just call up your Allstate dealer and have them, whip you out a policy, because they don't do it. So you've got to know where to go and who to ask and what to ask, and that's what we're going to discuss today.
But, we got a great show for people, and when we come back off the break, we're also going to let the audience know, and if you have a product and if you want to come on the show, there's no fee or anything. We don't charge our guests. We're not a pay-to-play network. We're also going to have that information for them also, right?
Exactly. And we've got a lot of great topics coming up that really you must have read the list, because you kind of went right through them as far as the topics coming up for our inventors, and giving them, the encouragement and the resources to be able to take that first step and decide, do they have anything? And then, if they do, what should they do as their first steps and to get through the process? Yeah. We used to laugh because we said that the old inventor business model was have idea, get patent, make money. And we know there is just a lot more to it than that, and it's important to know what those steps are and how the pendulum swings in the cost. Getting a service provider, they say, you get what you pay for. Well, when it comes to like a patent attorney, more is not always more. It just means he's driving a better car, and sometimes you're the one paying for it. So how do you determine that? And that's what we're here to do, is to help the inventors make good business decisions so that they can get through the process and get the product to market.
Well, I like the idea you got the insurance guy coming on, because we had a situation a couple of weeks ago where one of the companies that one of the inventors was getting ready to distribute and put their product on the market and did all the steps and everything, and come to find out they the type of technology that they had requires a $5 million product liability policy, which nobody did the homework. So now he's not going to be able to he's going to have to go find a license, a licensee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sometimes, knowing sooner rather than later helps you make better decisions in the steps. Yeah. So you don't get kind of, sidetracked or, bamboozled by not knowing what to expect. So had he known, even 6 months ago that this was going to be an issue, he instead of spending the money on manufacturing, he would have spent the money getting to probably a couple of more trade shows to find the licensing.
A licensing company that would just take it over and pay him a royalty. And look, to be honest with you, my rule of thumb is, and my rule of thumb is, if you have one product and you're a one-trick pony, get a licensing deal. Forget about manufacturing.
Exactly.
Because of what the cost of manufacturing. But as you start developing products, and if you have 4 or 5 or 6 products out there, then you might want to consider going into the manufacturing part of it. But to each its own, Rita. You know that. Well, hey, Rita, we're going to take a short break, okay?
Okay.
And we're just out of time, and we're going to get to our guests. Hey, I'm the Cajun contractor, Michael King. This is the Home Talk USA radio program, the Invent America part of our show, along with my sidekick, the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. So we're going to step away, got to pay some bills. Please visit our website at HomeTalkUSA.com. Check out our television show at HomeTalkTV.com. We're going to come back with our first guests right here on the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNLive.com. I'm the Cajun Man. I'll be right back. Yay!
Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Yeah, welcome back to the only home improvement show dedicated to you, the American consumer. All right, Rita, just before the break, though, I had made a comment about my personal rule of thumb between, a manufacturing agreement and a licensing agreement, and when you should maybe just consider a licensing agreement. Well, our next guest had to realistically make that decision, and so tell us about our guest.
So our guest is Ian Osborn. I've known Ian for a long, long time. Was one of the first inventors I had ever met, and he's developed several products, and the majority of them are all in one industry. So he is a startup. He went into business and did his own manufacturing. So he's designed, developed, manufactured several inventions over the years and manufactures in the U.S. You know what? He's a perfect guest for another show, too, but we're going to wait on that one. But for now, all right, Ian, thank you so much for being with us. It's a pleasure I can't exactly see you, but it is a pleasure to have you on. You've got a perfect voice for radio. How are you? Just fine. So anyway, the issue today is product liability insurance. So, Ian, tell us, where were you in your process that you decided, okay, I've got to get some product liability insurance? Because you sell to big companies. Most of the work you do is commercial work. So tell us a little bit about that and how you made that decision.
About a month and a half after I started manufacturing a singular product that went ballistic and started selling all over the world, the issue with me was that the product was also based with electricity, so I was using custom manufactured power supplies, drivers that were made to my specs by name brand companies. The issue is that I'm dealing with power, so if there's any kind of a liability of something catching on fire, that product liability insurance basically is saving my hide. It covers me in the event of something that goes wrong. Granted, we have in the stipulations, the warranty, and the disclaimers when we sell the product, if you are a contractor, it is under your liability insurance. If I install it, it's under my liability insurance. And because I do both installations and also sell to other commercial entities, it would make more sense for me to go ahead and get liability insurance for myself when I do giant commercial office complex.
Well, explain to people what it is that you do.
So my company designs and manufactures LED lighting products. We are exclusive to the lighting industry and LEDs. We take LEDs to design anything from a custom one-off project for clients to commercial streetlights that you see out in the streets today. We do wall packs for buildings. We do fluorescent tube replacements, which are all LED, all the way down to the single par bulbs that you see in a house. We've pretty much stayed away from that style because GE is involved in those. So we're pretty much specified into the arena of wall pack street lights and internal buildings, just because that's a conglomeration of products that are so broad that we can actually come in and do a niche version. We specialize in new 8-foot high-intensity grow lights that are 1 inch by 1 inch by 8 feet long that are used for all rows of plants.
You're the perfect example of an inventor who had, an idea that went to the big commercials. I mean, and I mean to the big industries, because a lot of us, will have things that are sold over the counter, to in a Target or a Bed Bath and Beyond or a Home Depot. So the consumer, the everyday do-it-yourselfer, is going in and buying it. They're not going to go in and buy yours. They may see yours in a parking lot and say, "Whoa, that's a cool light. Who developed that?" And it's Ian Osborn with Wild Ideas Light Company.
Right. We've done car dealerships in the past where they've asked for something that's unique and novel for their particular car dealership. So we design an entire structure and lighting assembly for that dealership that makes them look different than the other Honda dealership down the road. So people come in and they're like, "Oh, our cars are extremely well lit." Excuse me. And then you go to other dealerships and they're not lit the same way. Excuse me.
So back to our topic here. It's like, for some inventors, they either don't get any product liability or they go way overboard. How did you determine what you needed?
So there's two determining factors. Find a really good insurance broker to start, and the insurance broker will sit down with you, and they looked at the amount of volume I was actually producing and the cost of the product that I was actually manufacturing. And then they have a formulation table based off of two factors. For me, it was cost of the manufacturing of the goods, cost of the actual product, and then what was I physically getting my lights put into. So I was going into commercial buildings. So my product liability started at $10 million and worked up based on the type of facility I'm going into. And the broker that I use allows me to increase my liability based upon the job that I'm doing. So if I'm doing a 60,000 square foot superstore, I can take my product liability up to $100 million for that particular job, and it covers that job for 10 years. So I have the luxury of being able to pick and choose my timing based on the client. So all I had to do was provide product liability till the letter of CO was signed. I'm good for $10 million. And then as soon as they take over the building and I walk away, at that point, their liability and their building insurance covers everything because it's been signed off by the city and the state.
Yeah.
I now just cover warranty work.
All right. Well, you've made us understand that it's complicated and you need a really good insurance guy to help you out.
All right.
Yeah. It definitely is helpful.
You did a great job, my friend. Ian, thank you so much for being our guest.
You bet, sir. Thank you.
All right, that was Ian Osborn. Check him out at wildideaslightco.com. Right, Rita?
That's right.
All right, just spell it out. All right, then go to your website. What's your website, Rita, again?
InventorLady.com.
We have the information there. All right, we can take a short break. We'll come back with our next guest right here on the Invent America show with my sidekick, Rita Crompton, right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network. Broadcast through the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. All rights reserved. I'll be right back. Yeah!